What are we talking about here? The man, it says, called his wife's name Eve because she was the mother of all living, of everything living. Mother. And God made for Adam and his wife garments of skin and clothed them. Why? Was he trying to prevent her from becoming a mother? Cain was first up, the death bringer, the one who brought home the awful consequences of eating fruit which was forbidden. Then it became real what we sing about, Savior, when in dust to thee we bow low. Hear, oh, hear our penitential cry, Mother. What are we talking about here? I saw it on full display yesterday at the House League Super Saturday Hockey Championship game. There he was, a dynamic little 10-year-old, zipping up and down the ice, lighting it on fire, when, as happens to 10-year-olds who skate like that, he put his head down and did not see that he was being challenged. Headlong he flew, and he lay on the ice in pain. What was previously an excitable crowd fell into absolute quiet out of concern for this bundle of energy who lay like a sack of potatoes, bruised. I can't believe they let this happen, someone said. Someone was upset that there were no recriminations for the play. As well, there should not have been. All right, everybody just chill. It was Mother, you see. Baby was sprawled upon the ice, and Mother wanted recrimination, and she was looking at all of us sitting in utter silence, and she would dominate all of us. The wise have a rule. The wise have very few rules, you see. Wisdom does not require rules, but rather puts rules aside for the fear of God, who forgives. But there are a few rules remaining. The wise have a rule. If a husband and wife are fighting, do not attempt to adjudicate between them or arbitrate for them, even if they ask you to do so. For we who have been married know that a husband and wife never fight about what they're fighting about. If you find a lake boiling over with water, ice cubes are not going to cool it off. And that's about all you have to offer. There's a nuclear reaction going on somewhere deep beneath that boiling lake, and the best thing to do is to make distance between yourself and that husband and wife as quickly as possible. What are we talking about here? Animal skins? The pain in childbearing has been multiplied for the woman, and that refers to so much more than those several hours of labor at the end of a pregnancy. The pain of childbearing has been multiplied. Her desire is to be over her husband, but he shall behave as a lord over her. Mother glared at all of us. Parents from both teams, none of us speaking, and she desired to be over all of us. All right? Everybody just chill. One poor, stupid soul foolishly decided he did not want her over him. So, without heeding the wisdom of the wise, he said, "Why don't you just chill?" There is Mother, I see. I also see Son. I do not see Father. Where is Father? Well, I know from the details from previous encounters, and I know that Father has never been in the picture. The animal skins were set aside injudiciously, shall we say, probably in a moment of dropped inhibition, and now rage at husband who wasn't. All of us were, at that moment, husband, and she was raging against us, desiring to be over us. And one of us acted lordly in behalf of all of us, saying exactly what we all thought, but were too wise to say. Why don't you just chill? Mother's boyfriend showed up. Boyfriend, see? Not husband, boyfriend, 50 years old or so. And just before the first punches were thrown, the arena staff intervened. By this point, the game no longer mattered. Joy was gone, and we were all counting the minutes until we could escape. And there you have it, the history of the world, hacking and slashing away at each other unless someone in authority prevents it with a threat of violence or some other forcible coercion. The whole project is a wreck. God wrecked his creation with a curse. And then he left us to our own devices. And boy, the animal skins were nothing for the radiation that was emitting from beneath them. And we call it love. Nevertheless, Adam called his wife Eve because it means life. She is the mother of every living person. And he called her so after the curse was cast, after warfare became our operating system, our natural way of dealing with one another, even husband and wife. It is about life, isn't it? The satanic program was to wreck the creation project. Let there be life, God said. Let there be death, said Satan. Once he had deceived us into death, God intervened just enough so that we would be reminded that we are in death. Pain holds our hand every step of the way along the pathways of life. If we shake pain off, he returns in a moment in some other way, somewhere on your body, in your body, or in your heart. Hear, oh, hear our penitential cry. Jesus couldn't shake pain off, not even for a moment. See, we cry out penitently because we hope. We hope because in the midst of the curse is a promise. In fact, the curse is held together by a promise. Would God really abandon his project of life because it was deceived into death? No. Enmity between the husband and the wife is a reminder that there is enmity between the deceiver and the woman, between her seed and him. You shall bruise his heel, God said. And there he was, sprawled out on the ice, her son, and there she was, screaming at all of us. And he got back up, and we cheered. The roar of approval, of thanksgiving, went up over all creation, which is under a curse, when Jesus cried out, "Satan, be gone!" And he got back up. She is the mother of everyone living because her son brought life out of her womb with him. Satan is having nothing of it. But the tables are turned. This son is not formed from the dust of the ground, but is begotten of the Father. He comes from heaven to redeem those of us who are from the dust, restoring the project of life, undoing the program of death. Into the tomb he goes after writhing there on the cross, bruised, nailed there like a serpent. Into the tomb he goes, and out of it he comes, bringing life with him. Life for you, all of you who desire to be over your husband, and for all of you who lord it over your wife. For you, he went into mother's womb, and for you, he entered the tomb. For you, he came out of both, to bring you out of both, to bring you out alive. What are we talking about here? We still wear the animal skins for the moment under the coercion of death and its ready reminder, pain, especially the pain of relating to one another, which we do as those who are radioactive, hot enough to boil water. We also wear the robes of baptism, which are light and free, cooled by the wrath of God, which burned hot against that serpent, mother's son, and then was spent. Wrath was spent. They are light and free and cool, like the other side of the pillow. When we come out and we come to our rest, then we will rejoice. For the pain of childbearing will be gone, and the pain of laboring to survive will be gone. For now, we continually cry out, "Hear, oh, hear our penitential cry." Mother is the mother of the living, not the dead.